Hello sis, what are you doing?
Drawing my life journey.
She's so weird.
I heard you.
Come on, show me how it looks like. So what do you conclude from this ugly looking sketch?
Life is full of ups and downs. After so much time, despite of putting so much efforts, I'm still standing at the same position. This is position versus time graph.
I wonder you needed a graph to conclude these obvious points.
Oh, shut up. What do you think of yourself?
Out of this world. Out of this room. Behave, girl.
Who started first?
You have two options.
And you have 4 options.
Say sorry or get ready to face mom.
Tell me which one of the following is or are correct. There can be multiple correct answers.
What? I'm not interested.
Good escape. All dumps behave this way.
Excuse me.
Excuse, now I'm shooting a video.
हाँ ठीक है ठीक है.
Now if this is the position time graph of a particle, this is the position and this is the time. Tell me which one of the following is or are correct. A. The particle has come to rest 6 times. B. The maximum speed is at 6 seconds. C. The velocity remains positive for t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 6 seconds. Or is it D, that the average velocity for the total period shown is negative? Since there may be multiple correct answers, we will be choosing one option at a time and analyzing whether it is right or wrong. Coming to the first option, which says that the particle comes to rest 6 times. So when the particle will come to rest? When the velocity will be 0. And you know this is the position time graph and velocity is dx by dt, which is none other than the slope, which is also the slope of this graph. So the particle will come to rest whenever this velocity is 0. This slope is 0. So we will be checking where in the graph the slope is 0. And I'll be noticing that it is 0 at exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 6 points. So the particle comes to rest 6 times, exactly 6 times. So this is correct. Coming to the option B, it says that at t is equal to 6 seconds, that is here, this position, at t is equal to 6 seconds, we have maximum speed. So let us check it. So you know that this is velocity and the magnitude of velocity is nothing but speed. So this means we have to check the magnitude of the slope, and wherever the slope is maximum, the speed should be maximum. So at t is equal to 6 seconds, you will be drawing a tangent at this point, and I will be calculating
Tan theta.
this. Let this angle be theta, that is the angle that it is forming with the horizontal axis. Now I have to check whether this is the maximum slope that I can obtain on this graph. For this, I will be looking at some other points on this graph. For example, say I choose this and I check the slope at this point. This is the point at around 3 seconds. And if I draw a tangent at this point, I will be getting another angle, say phi, and clearly you can see this is much steeper than this. So the option that time t is equal to 6 seconds is the point of maximum speed is wrong, since we have found one more point on the graph at which the slope is much more than that at 6 seconds. Now coming to the option C, it says that from t is equal to 0 to t is equal to 6 seconds, the velocity is positive. Again, velocity is
dx by dt, which is nothing but the slope of this position time graph.
So what can you observe from here? We have to check whether there are points of negative slope as well. And I can clearly see that these points, all these points will give you negative slopes. If you plot tangent at these points here, these will be obtuse angles. These will be obtuse angles here. These are the points with negative slope and hence negative velocity. So this point is also wrong. We have positive as well as negative velocities on this graph. We already checked here, we had a positive slope, so positive velocity. So this point is wrong. So now coming to the last option, that is option D, which says that average velocity for the total time period is negative. And now this is average velocity, and you know average velocity is displacement over time, which is nothing but change in the position over the time interval. x2 is the final position, x1 is the initial position, and t2 and t1 are their respective times. So clearly, you know, this is my initial position, x1, and this is my final position. Since they are talking about this total period, this x2 here is my final position. Now, since I can see that these are the points which are nearly lying at the same value of x, that means x2 minus x1 as seen from this graph is nearly 0. It is nearly 0, and the time from here to here, this is at t is equal to 0, and this can be at around say 8 seconds. So 0 divided by 8 is 0. That means the average velocity for the total time period, as shown here, this is not negative but 0. So option D is also wrong. That means we have only one correct answer, that is option A. Another point I would like to add here is that this graph ended here, somewhere here. So the point x2 would have been this. And you know that this x2 is lying above this x1, so x2 minus x1 in that case would have been positive for this total time period, and in that case the average velocity would have been positive for the total duration shown. And if this graph would have been like this, ending here, for example, clearly this point out here is lying lower than this. In that case, the displacement would have been negative and the average velocity in that case would have been negative as well. So that was all for today.
थोड़ा और बहस ले अभी चुड़ैल कहेंगी.
I hope you like this video.
ऐसा ये हर वीडियो में बोलती है, करता कोई है नहीं.
If you do not forget to give it a big thumbs up.
Style कम मार.
I'll be back with my next video.
तू बचेगी तो बनाएगी.
Till that time, do not forget to take really good care of yourselves.
तू अपनी सोच पहले. मम्मी